Hi, I'm Jala, your #1 enthusiast of all things everything. And for the past 4 seconds, I've been collecting anything, everything I can find. In my collection, it is starting to stack up. In fact, I've got an everything bagel in the other room, and my second item has just arrived. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, everyone's favorite everything simulator and the most ambitious Smash game by a mile. Going under the tagline, everyone is here, you know exactly what to expect, and boy do they deliver. I've put more time into this game than I'm willing to admit, but I enjoyed every second of it. This game is just packed to the brim with content, whether it's characters, stages, items, modes, music. It truly deserves the name Ultimate. So today we're going to be taking a look at just what makes this game so special. On March 8th, 2018, there was a Nintendo Direct, and at the end, that's right, they announced a new Smash game. But that's all we knew, and that's all we would know until E3. Yeah, it always felt odd that they just casually dropped a Smash game and didn't even give details on it. But anyway, when we got to E3, things were exciting. The Smash segment of E3 opened plain and simple with the trailer showing off all of the returning characters, and the build up to the realization that everyone is back was genius. And that very moment was when we knew that this game was going to be something else. And afterwards they went over small changes and details about almost every returning character, and it just shows how dedicated they are to perfecting all of these characters. They also went over a multitude of gameplay changes that show that Nintendo is giving more care to the competitive crowd. You got things like dash canceling, directional air dodges, dodge spam punishment, short hop aerial buffering, parrying. Now if you don't understand anything that I said there, I don't blame you. You probably smell better than I do. Overall, yeah, it was a really good direct. We got a really good... Oh my god, what is that? Man, what a good way to end the direct. Ridley has been a character that people have wanted since the beginning, and to finally see them in the game is amazing. But a reveal this massive set expectations astronomically high, so we'll have to see if they deliver or not. On August 5th, 2018, it was announced that Nintendo's gonna hold a Smash Direct, and boy oh boy do I wonder who they're gonna announce, and ooh, yeah, someone got fired for that. And when that Direct aired, to the surprise of nobody, Simon Belmont was announced. But alongside him came Richter, which was really cool to see. And alongside those two came two Echo Fighters, Dark Samus and Chrom. You know, nothing mind-blowing, but it's still nice to see some extra fighters tossed in there. So a big focus on this direct were the numbers. This game had more stages than I have IQ points and over 900 songs. They also went over some quality of life options like stage hazard toggling, unrestricted song selection, but then the big one. King K. Rool himself is here. Another character right up there with Ridley as one of the most wanted characters for the game. And I gotta say, I am so glad to see him in. It's incredible to see how well he fits in with the rest of the cast. Again, another massive reveal that's only gonna set expectations higher and higher for whoever comes next. And on November 1st, the final direct was here. Expectations were astronomically high, and they announced Incineroar. Well, that had to make someone out there happy. Yeah, it always felt a little weird that they had Incineroar as the last announced character instead of someone as big as King K. Rool. And in that same trailer, they announced Ken, which, as someone who's done a little bit of dabbling into Street Fighter, you know, as you do, it made me really happy to see him here. I always found it odd that they labeled him as an Echo Fighter despite the fact that he plays completely different to Ryu, but I'm guessing they just did it because Ryu and Ken, you know. And later in the direct, they detailed their online, announced that they're dropping dedicated casual and competitive modes and instead allowing you to pick your own rule set. And they also urged you to buy an Ethernet cable. Okay, you know what? I don't even want to get into this. I'll just leave this here. We'll get to that when we need to. Got it? On a more exciting note, they announced that they're going to be releasing Piranha Plant post-launch, and I love this. It feels like every Smash game has to have that one character that's just completely out of left field, and yeah, that's what they are. To end things off, they showed a full story mode, and I'm still in disbelief to this day. And after all 4.5 minutes of that, they didn't have much else to talk about, so they released the game, because that's how it works. Is that something I need to explain? There was so much hype building up to this very moment. Expectations were out of this world, so let's try out the game. And why are there 8 characters? I paid $60 for this. That's right, the game starts you with the bare minimum, only the Smash 64 roster, and you have to build everything up from there. And it really puts things into perspective just how massive this roster is. But if I'm gonna be honest, having to unlock literally everyone did get a little bit tedious by the end. Now there's a few ways to unlock characters in this game, but the way I chose is through Classic Mode, because Classic Mode works a bit different than any other Smash game. You see, instead of random sequences of enemies, they each have their own centralized theme. They're all based around the character you're playing, like Ryu has Street Fighter Classic Mode, Pikachu's is a reference to Pokemon battles, and King K. Rool is focused on heavyweights. When you complete a run of Classic Mode, you're gonna unlock another character based on whoever you're playing as, and that's my personal favorite way to unlock characters just because it feels the least tedious, and each run of Classic Mode feels fresh. Alright, but how about we, play the game. So let's hop into Smash, and whoa. I've never felt so overwhelmed by a picture featuring Find Me from Street Pass Me Plaza on the Nintendo 3DS system. Yeah, there are a lot of stages in this game. In fact, almost every single one comes back with just a few omissions. Most notably Icicle Mountain, because Icicle Mountain, Pokefotes, which I really wish came back, and worst of all, Woolly World. I know, it still keeps me up at night. And the returning stages are gorgeous. They all have completely revamped visuals, except for the Nintendo 64 ones, I guess. Nostalgia or something, I don't know, man. Now, their focus was clearly bringing back old stages because there's only 4 new stages at launch, and I'm okay with that. It's really cool to see almost every single stage back. And immediately upon starting this game, I realized that this game is aimed at a more competitive crowd. It felt a lot faster than games like Smash 4 and Brawl. Attacks were quicker, had less end lag. Things like dash dancing and wave landing made their grand return, although not nearly as useful as they were in Melee. Shielding was reworked to encourage parrying. Overall, things felt much more aggressive and fast paced. And I think it struck a good balance between the gameplay of Melee and Smash 4. It doesn't feel too slow for competitive players, but it's also not too difficult for casual players to have a good time. Everything just feels right. This is easily my favorite Smash game in terms of gameplay. Now, people believe this game would kill Melee, which... come on guys, it's Melee! Of course, the main focus of this game was the character roster, and this game hits the nail on the head. All of the new characters feel so fun in their own unique way, and every single one is just so fresh. At launch, one of my favorite characters had to be Inkling. They have such a powerful combo game, their ink gimmick is a lot of fun to manage, and they have such a varied moveset. Ridley and King K. Rool are finally here, and people have been clamoring for these two for ages, so finally being able to see them here is a dream come true for so many. Isabelle was really nice to see in the game, but she was the most likely character from Animal Crossing, and then there was Incineroar. It was also great to see some of the veterans come back. And some highlights for me were Young Link, because for some reason 4-year-old me was thrilled to see Young Link in Melee, just for all my hopes and dreams in life to be crushed by Toon Link. So it's really great to see him back in the roster. And Snake too, he feels a bit clunky to me, but for people that can play him, he is really fun to watch. And out of everyone, Snake was the character that was least likely to return, but this was probably one of the only scenarios he could actually come back. And there's also just something so satisfying about Wolf's gameplay. Everything about him just feels so powerful. This game also has the most balanced roster out of any Smash game. Almost any character is viable at competitive play. So if you're the #1 Wii Fit fan, you won't have to be crying yourself to sleep every night on your Wii balance board thinking if there was just one more patch they could be viable. And overall, this game just has the best roster in Smash history, and it's gonna be a massive challenge for Nintendo to top this in future entries. Now let me ask, what's a Smash game without your game modes? You got your classics like Smash, Classic Mode, Mob Smash, and Custom Smash, and we even have all new modes like Squad Strike, which uses a new character every stock, and it's a lot of fun to play around with friends. And we got Smashdown, where a character is removed from the roster when they're used, which is also so much fun to play. And of course we can't forget about the big one, Spirits, a full story mode with hundreds of spirit battles. And it has a few cutscenes, but it's nothing to the level of Subspace. Finally, I get to watch Pikachu die! I found it really fun to see what clever ideas they would use in the spirit battles, and on another note, the art style in this game is beautiful. It looks especially good in the dungeons themed around the game. Although, if I'm gonna be honest, the campaign did last a little bit longer than I wish it would have. If they just cut down the game by a few hours, I feel like it would have felt way more memorable. The online is garbage and I hate it. Ah yes, everyone's favorite PowerPoint slideshow, Smash Online. Now you begin by picking your rules and wow, I'm half a sentence in, I already see issues with this. Since literally anyone can pick the rules, you get a complete mixed bag of rule sets every single time you play. You can get anything ranging from a competitive match, 3 stocks, 7 minutes on Battlefield, or you can get something as wild as playing on hand and bow with items on stamina mode. It's honestly such a mess. And the worst part is that no matter what rule set you're on, your rank is gonna get affected. Naturally, people are going to take advantage of that and they're going to create custom rule sets that will make it easier for them to climb the ranks with the least amount of effort. But the real question is why? Nobody had an issue with having a separate competitive and casual game modes, so why they decided to merge them into one, I'll never understand. And while we're talking about the ranking system, what even is Global Smash Power? Like, the concept is that it's a leaderboard, which is cool and all, but then they take it and flip it upside down, where the closer you are to 0, the worse a player you are, and the further you are, the better. Why? Why not just keep it as a normal leaderboard, or at the very least implement a more standard ranking system? On a more positive note, I really like the way the private arenas work in this game. They're just a lot better than quick play overall, because rule sets are set by the creator and are going to stay consistent throughout, and you can also make them public if you want to fight randoms, or private if you just want to play with your friends. You can also pick whatever stage you want to play on, so it's not either random or Battlefield and Final Destination, which gives you so much more control. And more generally, the arenas just work way better than quick play. Yeah, so it is clear that online needs a lot of work. It wasn't so bad in Smash 4 because, you know, it was free online. It wasn't really expected to be too great. But now we're paying $20 a year for it and there's still no upgrades, so I don't know where my money's going to. Okay, now that that's over, we can finally talk about the DLC of this game. And first up, we had Piranha Plant, and oh my god, I love this. Piranha Plant is just such a stupid character to add to the game, but that's exactly what makes them so great. Now, Piranha Plant has quite a weird moveset. They're mainly going to be focused on their projectiles with their neutral B, their side B, and their down B. But you could tell that they're starting to run dry of moves for this character. Like, what am I looking at right now? What is this? And our next character is gonna be Joker. Going forward, all Fighter Pass characters were released with a video presentation from none other than Masahiro Sakurai. He detailed the character, how to play them, their stage, and other stuff that came with the update, like Mii costumes and new game modes that came with the update. Now for Joker, I had never really played a Persona game before him being in Smash, but I gotta say, I love this. Everything just feels like it had so much care put into it. His combos feel stylish, he's a very quick character with flashy animations, and he has the best windscreen in the game. The stage that came with Joker is called Mementos, and it's basically just graphic design the stage, because if there's one thing Persona 5 is iconic for, it's gotta be that masterful graphic design. With Joker came the stage builder, and this thing is robust. And this stage builder is most comparable to the one in Smash 4, but it has a lot of additions, like the ability to rotate, it has teleporters, wind physics, and layers. Now this allows so much freedom for the creators, but they go ahead and use it for... Also, they added a full video editor to the game. I mean, come on, what's next? A full copy of Photoshop? And next is Hero. The presentation for this character was met with a heaping dose of uh-oh, because they were revealed to be a heavily RNG based character with a random set of moves on their down B and random crits. But on release, Hero was quite the controversial character. people are even going as far as to say that we should ban them from all tournaments, which obviously never happened, and with time, they were sitting pretty comfortably with the rest of the roster. Alongside here was the button mashing altar, a pretty standard stage that takes you around the Dragon Quest XI map, and the update also came with an online tourney mode, which is a quick 1-2 stock battle. Nothing that exciting, but I'm not gonna complain about free content. Banjo and Kazooie are characters that I've been wanting in Smash for almost as long as I've been a fan of the games, and needless to say, these guys are my favorite of the bunch. Finally getting to see them in the game felt so wonderful, and they play exactly how I would have imagined them. They really hit the nail right on the head with this character. Everything from the playstyle to their iconic voice lines, it all works so well. With Banjo and Kazooie came the stage Spiral Mountain, and oh my god, the attention to detail on this stage is beautiful. It feels like they went out of their way to make a one-to-one recreation of the map if it was made for modern hardware. Alright, I unironically love this. I always thought it would be really neat to see Undertale have some sort of representation in Smash, but I never thought it would actually happen. And Sans also came with a new rendition of Megalovania, which is just amazing. And included in the update was Home Run Contest, which, if I'm going to be honest, it felt weird not having it in the game before now. So moving on, we got Terry, who I actually never heard of before he was announced for this game. He plays similarly to Ryu and Ken, although he is a bit easier to pick up. He's a really fun character with a really nice flow to his gameplay. And the stage that came with him was designed to mimic more traditional fighting games, which is a really neat concept that works amazing for stamina mode. And finally, we got... I can hear the angry Twitter comments already. Byleth. Now, I'm probably one of the 3 people that were excited to see this character in the game, because the timing just worked so well for me. When they were announced, I was starting to get into Fire Emblem, so it would have definitely stung a lot more if I didn't play the game at the time. I would have been at the riots with my pitchfork ready. And by the time Byleth came out, people were still not happy, but hey, at least I was having a good time with them, right? And the stage that came with them is the Garreg Mach Monastery, which is amazing because we get to see the JPEG fruit in the game. So, in my opinion, the DLC pack was amazing, and no matter what happens in the future, I'm just glad we got Banjo in the game. So, in conclusion, this game's got it all. Is what I would say if I was stupid. This game has no Woolly World.